Hi, I'm Karen Brunmeyer, and I have a little bit of an interesting story to share with you today about my fight with leaky gut. It's about how I finally took matters into my own hands and how I put an end to my debilitating symptoms and started feeling great again after suffering every single day for many years. How did I do it? The funny thing is that what worked for me were the very things that my doctors laughed at and told me were ridiculous. But what's even funnier is that these techniques also work for my clients. And I bet they will work for you too. While everyone around me was enjoying life, I could barely function. But when I first found out that there was something I could do about it, I was overcome with a huge sense of relief. I'm going to tell you my story because odds are you are going through something very similar. But it doesn't matter what your chronic symptoms are. Anyone who struggles with any of the symptoms of leaky gut syndrome will relate to this story. In fact, the symptoms of leaky gut are so vast, they can literally be anything from food allergies, to airborne allergies, to arthritis, to IBS, to ulcerative colitis, to Crohn's disease, to chronic fatigue, to depression, to anxiety, to eczema, or recurring infections. And this is just a short list. There are many, many more. And you'll want to make sure you watch this entire video now because it won't be online for very long. I want to tell you more than just my story. I want to give you the cure that I discovered and that still works for my clients today. If you're anything like me, then you have tried everything under the sun to get relief, continuously searching the internet for hours looking for that one thing that you have been missing, hoping that one day you'll just wake up and be back to living the life that you used to enjoy. I remember the frustration of talking to my doctors who could offer me nothing more than a lifetime of prescription drugs to help manage my symptoms. But I wasn't ready to give up just yet. At that time, I was studying to become a dietitian, but none of the dietary recommendations helped. Then I learned that my so-called healthy diet was completely opposite of how I should be eating based upon my genetics. And after a few days of changing my diet, I had more energy than I could remember in years. Talk about a wake-up call. This ultimately led me to change my career path from dietetics to holistic nutritionist. I just wanted to share this energetic feeling with every single one of my clients, and I did. And lo and behold, it worked, and far better than any of the dietitian guidelines I had learned in school. While I continued feeling better every single day, I still had some stubborn symptoms that just wouldn't go away. So I spent $600 for a 1-hour consult with the best holistic practitioner I knew. But everything he told me, I already knew. So you know what I did? Because I felt that I had tried everything I could, I was ready to give up. I was just born this way and I'll just have to learn to live with it. That's what I would tell myself. It took me a while to get out of that rut, but I finally came to terms with the fact that this was just an excuse. But by that time, I had become very frustrated with not being able to figure out what was wrong. I was tired of feeling like I was a prisoner of my symptoms. I was mentally drained from having to cope with my symptoms while dealing with all the other daily stresses of life. I felt like I couldn't catch a break. I'm sure you know the exact feelings that I'm talking about. Maybe you're dealing with some of these same issues on a daily basis as we speak. But that's when I met 2 functional medicine doctors that changed my life forever. Not only did I learn functional medicine, I learned how every single one of my symptoms could be traced back to my leaky gut. But I wasn't the only one with leaky gut. In fact, millions of people just like you suffer from leaky gut syndrome every single day. Almost every single one goes undiagnosed. Today, I'm a different person. I learned exactly how to get to the root of the problem and heal leaky gut naturally and permanently. And since I did, my life has never been better. My symptoms disappeared, and I could finally focus on the more important things in life, which was a pleasant change. No more fear and confusion of not knowing what is going on. No more frustration of not getting any answers. No more being consumed by this condition and wondering if you'll ever just get over it. No more wasting hours of your time researching symptoms without finding any help. And here's the crazy part. After struggling for years, I started getting results within days, and almost all of my symptoms were gone within a few short weeks. And it worked for more than just me. I began focusing my private practice entirely on leaky gut, and it worked wonders for my clients too. I have to admit that I was absolutely amazed. I felt like I had stumbled upon the Holy Grail. How did I do it? by following the exact process that my doctors told me would only make my condition worse. And here it is. The leaky gut cure process. But let me first stress the importance of following this process in order. The order itself is a big part of what makes this so powerful and effective. Step 1. I removed all sources of inflammation that were driving my symptoms. Immediately, my symptoms began to improve and some even disappeared altogether. Step 2. I replaced the missing components holding me back from healing. Just when I thought it couldn't get better, I noticed that I wasn't reacting negatively to many of the foods that used to trigger my symptoms. Step 3. I rebalanced the internal ecosystem inside my gut. Then my severe digestive symptoms cleared up completely, which my doctor told me was impossible. Step 4. I accelerated the healing process. All of the pieces had come together, and for the first time in over 7 years, I felt like I was healthy again, and I was ready to take on the world. Here's why this process is so important. Taking supplements while the inflammation is still present is like trying to rebuild a house while it is burning to the ground. Your supplements and money are just getting burned by the flames, and most of us have better uses for our money. And not only that, but the vast majority of doctors give the wrong recommendations that can cause your symptoms to get worse. I've been there, so I know the hopeless feeling this can cause, and needless to say, even more wasted money down the drain. Or maybe your doctor put you on prescription drugs only to trade your symptoms in for a new set of side effects. Or maybe your drugs cause new symptoms to surface, which is much more common than you think. There's a better way to get results, and it's amazingly fast. We've already covered how easy it is to waste time and money on supplements and doctors that don't understand what your problem really is to begin with. But listen closely, because I'm going to give you the 4 key concepts that are going to leave you symptom-free and enjoying life once again. Here they are. Key concept number 1. You need to realize that many of the foods that you are surrounded by every day that are claiming to be health foods are actually part of the problem and are actually making your symptoms worse. Maybe you thought whole wheat was keeping you healthy, or drinking milk or even soy milk was doing your body good. Think again. These are a few of the most common foods that could be contributing to your symptoms. But in just a minute, I'm going to show you what foods you should be eating and what you can substitute those unhealthy foods with to start getting immediate results. Key concept number 2. Even if you're eating all the right foods, it may not be enough. When you develop leaky gut, you can become sensitive to any food you eat, even the healthy foods. It is absolutely necessary to determine your underlying food sensitivities and remove these foods from your diet. If you don't, then these sensitivities will continue to create the inflammation that drives your chronic symptoms. Key concept number 3. Another aspect of healing that most people and doctors fail to even address at all is your lifestyle. There are many simple additions that you can make to your current lifestyle that are extremely effective, not only for your health, but for healing your leaky gut too. And while these lifestyle additions can really do wonders and leave you feeling great, you have to be certain that your current lifestyle is not sabotaging your results. Key concept number 4. This is an extremely important concept that you need to understand. While supplements can and should be used to help speed up the healing process, it is extremely important to use only the right supplements, and especially at the right time. I can't even begin to tell you how many of the supplements out there are completely useless. I have even found many of my clients to be using health supplements that were actually causing them more harm than good. And the timing of your supplements is just as important. If taken at the wrong time, you might as well flush your money down the toilet. So what is the best way to cure leaky gut and make your symptoms a thing of the past? I have taken everything that I have learned as a holistic nutritionist, functional medicine practitioner, and health consultant, and I have formulated a proven program that has already helped hundreds of people just like you. And from this proven method, the Leaky Gut Cure was created, which is now helping people all over the world overcome their chronic symptoms. And these aren't temporary results that last days, weeks, or months. These results are permanent. I take you beyond just some recommendations for food and supplements. I show you how to achieve a level of health that you never thought possible and how to maintain it for life. I want to take you inside my program, but first I want to share with you what some others have experienced. It's because of emails like these that make all of the work I put into this program worth it. Christina writes, Dear Karen, since I have started your diet, my health has improved greatly. The bloating of my stomach disappeared, and I am losing weight, and I have much more energy than before. I have been diagnosed with diverticulitis and hiatal hernia, and have not received one useful advice from specialists or my general physician. In the past, I spent a fortune on naturopaths and supplements, which didn't do me much good either. Reading your book, I discovered that it is a result of my leaky gut. I wonder why, over all this time, nobody told me that. Kara writes, I had suffered for years and seen a dozen specialists for treatment of chronic conditions. They had no solutions to offer. With bills and prescriptions piling up, facing disability, I turned to the internet one more time. What do I want? I thought to myself. I Googled leaky gut cure. That's when I found Karen's program. I was nervous and afraid to try it, but I'm so glad I did. The program is very easy to stick to, with written guidelines to follow every step of the way. I noticed great improvements after just the first day. Now, having been following the diet for about 10 weeks, I am almost well with restored self-worth and a positive outlook. I have never felt so good and been so capable, I'm even starting to enjoy my hobbies again. I've spent more than the cost of this program on food that I threw up afterward. If only I could get back some of the years I wasted with practitioners that told me leaky gut doesn't exist. Juliet writes, Good day to you, Karen, and thank you for your concern. I am following up with my long overdue problem that doctors could not work out since the age of 17. That is a long time ago. For 2 days now I have been on the correct foods and I feel 60% better. Thank you so much. John writes, My story started out much like yours. I had been passing blood in my stool. Doctor says it is hemorrhoids, so no big deal, right? When I turned 38, I started getting really bad eczema. My diet contained lots of sugar, lack of direct sunshine, few vegetables, and lots of stress. I got very itchy, and soon my whole body was covered with eczema. Could not sleep at night because it itched so bad. I told my wife, so this is how I will die. I can't see how I will overcome this. She pretty much agreed with me. Searching for answers, I came across your program. Willing to try anything, I tried it, and it is really working for me. I have only been on it for about a month, but since then my body just feels stronger. I can't really explain it, but it does not feel so weak anymore. Eczema has cleared up a great deal. The pathogen diet has worked the best for me, and I am still on it hoping for a complete recovery. We will see. Thank you, Karen, for your program. I don't know what I could have done without it. As a secondary note, I am totally appalled that my primary care physician would prescribe prednisone and other drugs that made me even worse, completely ignoring my diet and lifestyle. Now this one I had to remove the program secret, but John writes, Hi Karen, I have been doing the program each day for the past couple of days and I can feel the benefits already. The pain in my stomach has all but gone and generally I feel much better. Thanks for helping. Here's just a few of the amazing things you'll learn from the Leaky Gut Cure program. On page 41, I talk about the 7 foods that are making your symptoms worse by the day, many which are considered health foods, and exactly what foods you can replace them with to get relief. On page 32, I talk about the 5 must-have keys to a successful gut healing diet. These are the keys that will have you feeling great with more energy than ever. On page 45, I talk about the 5 healing foods that almost nobody takes advantage of, including one of the healthiest fats that you can eat. On page 66, I talk about a secret technique that I learned to determine hidden food allergies on the spot and for free, which cut my clients' healing time in half. On page 29, I talk about the 4 guidelines necessary to guarantee your success. Stick to these guidelines and your results are guaranteed. On page 91, I talk about the number 1 thing that holds most people back from getting the results they want and how to make sure it doesn't get in your way. On page 69, I talk about an amazing and completely underutilized trick to help your immune system relax and give you a much-needed break from your chronic symptoms. On page 84, I talk about the best supplement to accelerate the healing process and close up those holes in your gut that are leaving you vulnerable to all of the leaky gut symptoms. On page 88, I talk about how to maintain your results for life so that you never have to worry about your symptoms ever again, and so you can get back to living the life of your dreams. But don't worry, I know and understand what you are going through on a day-to-day basis suffering from leaky gut syndrome. The last thing you want to do is spend what little time and energy you do have reading a book only to forget what you are supposed to be doing. So I designed this program just for you. I have included an easy-to-follow step-by-step program guide that literally walks you through the entire program day by day. No need for hours of reading, and there's nothing to remember. Just follow along. And the best part is, I want you to start getting relief immediately, so you don't even have to wait more than a few minutes to get started with the program. Nothing is shipped to you. Instead, you will have instant access to the entire Leaky Gut Cure program online in a matter of seconds. But I still have more to give you. I have put together some great bonuses that I am offering with the Leaky Gut Cure program for free right now, but I plan on selling these separately soon. Just imagine how powerful these bonuses will be when used with my program. The first free bonus is the Adrenal Stress Guide. Some of the biggest complaints that I get are feeling tired all of the time and suffering from energy lows, depression, and low sex drive. With this Adrenal Stress Guide, you'll get my protocol to not only heal your adrenal glands, but also speed up your leaky gut healing process. The next free bonus is the Pathogen Guide. If you suffer from diarrhea, severe constipation, candida, ringworm, itching, or if you have used prescription antibiotics, then you are at a high risk for a pathogenic infection in your gut. With this Pathogen Guide, you'll get my protocol for clearing these pathogens out of your system. The next free bonus is the Toxic Home Checklist. Environmental toxins are becoming a bigger problem every single day due to the extreme number of harmful chemicals being used in everything from your food to your carpet. This Toxic Home Checklist informs you of the many common toxic products you use around your house and alternatives that you can replace them with. The next free bonus is the Food Allergy and Intolerance Testing DVD. Instead of just reading about how to use this amazing technique, I wanted to show you firsthand how it works. This secret technique is fast, free, very effective, and can be done in the comfort of your own home. Plus, there are 4 additional bonuses that I just don't have the time to tell you about. My personal clients pay over $500 for me to take them through this same program, but I don't have the time to help thousands of people one-on-one, which is why I turn my work into a step-by-step program. And while my program was originally valued at $276.38, while I know I could easily charge that much because that is how much my program is worth, I wanted to make my program affordable to everyone that desperately needs it, so I reduced the price drastically. You're not going to pay $200. You're not going to even pay half of that. You won't even pay half of $100. Not even $49. For a limited time only, after this video, you get it all. I want you to have access to my entire Leaky Gut Cure program, plus all of my limited time bonuses. For $39.95. Only $39.95. Think about it. Most people are willing to pay hundreds and even thousands to get relief from their symptoms. But you can get the same relief in less than 8 weeks for literally only 67 cents per day. That's less than the cost of your morning coffee. I'm also willing to guarantee your results. If for some reason you're not able to get back to your everyday activities within 2 to 4 weeks, then contact me and I'll try and figure out where you've gone wrong. And if for any reason I can't figure it out, you can get a full refund within 60 days. Here's a helpful tip. When you get your copy of my Leaky Gut Cure program, then you'll want to get started right away with the 7 worst foods and their food substitutions starting on page 41. You'll start to notice a drastic increase in energy and a welcome change in your mood in as little as a few days. As this process continues, you'll begin to notice that your chronic symptoms begin to disappear. It's an amazing feeling to go about your day without being overwhelmed by the way you feel, and focus on what you're doing instead of how horrible you're feeling. Think about it. No more living with symptoms. No more digestive problems and embarrassing situations. Instead, find a new level of self-confidence. No more difficulty concentrating. You will have increased mental clarity. No more moving through life with the need to slow down. You will be able to live life to the fullest. Imagine how wonderful it will feel. All you have to do to start feeling better is to take me up on my zero-risk offer. Just click the button below this video and it's all yours. Every bonus, tip, trick, secret to healing leaky gut, and saying goodbye to your chronic symptoms. Only $39.95 without any risk. Click the button below now and let's get started.
Click the link right below this video to get started. And remember, if you decide at any point within the 60 days that this isn't right for you, I'll send you a full refund, no problem. You'll just have my sincere thanks for at least giving it a try. So click the link below, and I'll see you on the other side.